Hello everyone, it's Jeeth here from Method, and today I'm going to give you a rundown of everything we know right now about the next expansion, the Shadowlands. Okay, so the Shadowlands announcement kicked off with a sweet new cinematic. What we can only assume to be an ICC invincible run with Sylvanas went horribly wrong. She ended up fighting Bolvar and scrapping the only drop, his plate helmet. She must not have gotten the memo about Residuum, probably should have kept it for Mog. Ripping the helmet apart opened up a rift in the sky to the realm of the dead, the Shadowlands. Sylvanas disappeared inside to hide for at least a few raids before we finally get Justice for Teldrassil and Bolvar's scrapped helmet. Because of Sylvanas being extra, Bolvar is raising new Death Knights to face her down in the Shadowlands. As such, all races, including Pandaren and allied races, can now be Death Knights. There's also a level squish. In Shadowlands, the maximum level will be 60, with all current max level players being reverted back down to level 50. When Shadowlands launches, we'll all race back to level 60, which may be a little bit easier now with the newest addition to Method. With the level squish, our leveling up experience is going to be completely revamped. New characters will start in a new zone called Exile's Reach until level 10. Then new players will be thrown straight into BFA, which will hopefully clue them into what's happening with the Shadowlands when they reach level 50. Players who already have one max level character can pick any of WoW's expansions to level new characters in, giving them a more consistent story experience as they grind to level 50. The talent system is also changing with the level squish. New talents will come at level 15, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. Okay, let's jump into the meat of Shadowlands and talk about the new zones. Rivendreth, aka What We Do in the Shadowlands, is a zone seemingly inspired by old school gothic vampires. It looks like a zone you can really sink your teeth into. Who wrote this? I quit. Next we have Ardenweald, a Pan's labyrinth of brightly colored scenery and creatures straight out of Del Toro's scrapbook. Maldraxxus seems to be a patchwork of Wrath zones, all combined into one, but heavily inspired by the Naxxramas aesthetic. Hey, maybe third time's the charm. Last of the major 4 zones is Bastion, the Shadowlands equivalent of Stormheim in at least looks. We can say for certain that the art department, as always, has made some great looking zones for us to inevitably ignore as we auto-run to our next world quest. Those are the 4 major zones. Each has their own faction, which we'll get into in a moment, but we also have Oribos the Eternal City, a hub for us to AFK jump around in while we wait for the raid to start. Finally, we have the Maw. The Maw is a horrific prison for the most vile souls. It's ruled over by the Jailer, an enigmatic figure who has never let a soul escape. I'm sure we'll run into the Jailer a few times over the expansion, but in the meantime, probably best to keep out of his way. Each of the 4 major zones has a faction you can align with. This is a new feature called Covenants. Similar to the Scryer or the Aldor in the Burning Crusade, but hopefully without the Death Trap elevators, we have factions to ally ourselves with that give specific rewards, including customizable mounts, armor sets, cloaks, and unique class abilities. In Rivendreth, you can join the Venthyr. In Ardenweald, you can join Night Fae. Maldraxxus gives us the Necrolords, and Bastion gives us the Kyrian. These 4 Covenants of the Shadowlands each has a full endgame narrative campaign and comes with 2 active abilities for your characters, one class specific, and the other a unique movement ability that will come in handy when dodging the Jailer's minions. The 4 unique movement abilities each faction gives every character when aligned are, first, Soul Shape. Aligning with the Night Fae will let you shapeshift into either a fox or another cute Fae critter to gain a 30% movement speed bonus and be ignored by enemies for 4 seconds. Aligning with the Kyrian gives you Unburden, the ability to gain 300% movement speed, slow fall, and jump forward after a 1-second cast on a 2-minute cooldown. It'll also greatly reduce your aggro radius. The Necrolords will give you Transcend the Flesh. Once every 3 minutes, you can separate from your soul, turn invisible and untargetable, leaving your vulnerable body behind. If you move more than 60 yards away from your body or reactivate the spell, your body will teleport to your soul. It's kind of like lag, but useful. Finally, the Venthyr give you Door of Shadows. This is basically a 40-yard blink after a 2-second cast. On top of these movement abilities, each class will gain from each covenant a unique spell earned by pledging your allegiance. Not all of these spells have been released, but for mages, we saw what each spell they gain from each covenant is. Aligning with the Kyrian gives mages a spell called Radiant Spark. You debuff the enemy with Radiant Spark. For 8 seconds after being hit with that ability, your next 4 spells deal increased damage. The first one 25% more, the second one 50% more, the third one 75% more, and your 4th spell 100% increased damage. Aligning with the Necrolords will give mages Contagion Bolt. On a 90-second cooldown, it's an 8-second dot that will cause nearby enemies to take damage when hit by other single-target spells. The Night Fae brings Shifting Power to the table. This is a 45-second cooldown with which you can channel AoE damage to enemies within 15 yards, increasing your haste by 5% for each second you spend channeling. Finally, Venthyr will give mages Mirror of Torment. This is a 2-minute cooldown, during which 3 mirrors will rotate around your target for 6 seconds, rooting and dealing damage to them every time they cast a spell or ability. These all seem pretty good, and they're bound to get buffed, nerfed, or otherwise changed with patches, which is why there's some good news. You are going to be allowed to change your covenant. However, doing so will lose any progress you've gained within the covenant, so you want to be careful with whom you align yourself with. No doubt we'll have a video on it before the Shadowlands drop, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. Within each covenant there's a new progression system called Soulbinds. Zone-specific NPCs with whom we can align ourselves if they're in our covenant zone. These Soulbinds give interesting new abilities, like increasing your parry chance or giving you increased critical strike chance against lower hit point enemies. Each Soulbind has a tree, kind of like a talent tree, within which you can select additional bonuses. Changing your covenant will lose your progress with your Soulbind, so you probably don't want to hit it and quit it. Another new feature is the Torghast, aka the Tower of the Damned in the Maw. First, you'll have to get to it. Not as easy as it sounds. The Maw is designed to be a treacherous new zone, within which every kill, or death, could catch the jailer's attention and earn you some unwelcome visitors, a patrol, perhaps hunting you down, or some other dangerous event. So we recommend not sticking around for too long to see the sights. When you do get to Torghast, it's essentially a labyrinth that you can explore either solo or with a party of up to 4 friends. The mobs inside this labyrinth will give you anima. This anima can empower your abilities or give you buffs that'll help you navigate the never-ending corridors of Torghast. With each level you ascend, the mobs will get more and more fearsome, but unlike Mythic Plus, there's no time limit. You can take your time. Torghast is ever-changing. No visit to Torghast will be similar to the last one. You can't just memorize your route, left, then right, then up a stairs, kill these mobs, and then those ones. It's going to change and keep you on your toes. Additionally, it may gain additional more substantial changes. Not as frequently as weekly affixes, but the jailer likes to spice things up, so he'll be throwing curveballs at us every now and then in one form or another. For your troubles in Torghast, players will be rewarded with runes which will be put toward crafting your legendaries. Yeah, that's right, legendary gear is making a return. And unlike Legion, legendaries won't be random drops. Instead, you'll be able to pick the piece you want and build toward that specific legendary. Because of this, we are sure we'll be spending countless hours ascending Torghast levels and trying to carry out as many runes as we can before the ominous overlord of the Maw overruns us. Next, we have the new dungeons. On launch, there will be 4 leveling dungeons: the Necrotic Wake, Theater of Pain, Mists of Tyrna's Scythe, and the Halls of Atonement. At level cap, there are an additional 4: Spires of Ascension, Plaguefall, Sanguine Depths, and The Other Side, featuring Lorgok's favorite character, Bwonsamdi. The first raid of the expansion is Castle Nathria. This is a 10-boss raid set in Rivendreth, ruled over by a Venthyr lord. Information is a little light, but it's safe to assume we'll be seeing a few vampires and more than likely a gargoyle or two. No, not those gargoyles. Or those vampires. Blizzard also commented on their new approach to class design. Their aim is to make your class feel like a class instead of just a spec. They want your specialization to feel like just that. You'll double down on the power of one aspect of your class without losing the other aspects. A Resto Shaman should still be able to Frost Shock, even if it doesn't hit as hard as an Elemental Shaman's will. Likewise, an Elemental Shaman will still have access to a Healing Stream Totem, even if it doesn't heal as much as a Resto Shaman's will. Paladins are getting back auras. Warlocks are getting back utility curses, and all rogues will be poisoning their weapons. Some old favorite abilities are also coming back, including the bane of every bubble-hearthing paladin, Shattering Throw. Hunters are getting back Killshot, Warlocks are getting Ritual of Doom, Warriors are getting Challenging Shout, and Hunters are also getting Eyes of the Beast. Hopefully there are more to announce. What new spells are you hoping get brought back from previous expansions? Let us know in the comments below. Blizzard has also announced a few cool customization options for your characters. New tribal paint for trolls and dwarves, new character models for humans, and also sand-colored trolls, which rumor has it allows them to walk in single file to hide their numbers. Alright, that's a lot of information and we're only 2 days in. So what do you guys think? Are you already over N'Zoth and ready to get to the Shadowlands? What covenant are you most hyped for? Let us know in the comments, and if you want to stay updated on all things WoW and BlizzCon, hit the sub button. If you liked the video, give us a like as well. All Shadowlands information is subject to buff, nerf, changes, being removed from the game, being obliterated by Exodia and sent to the Shadow Realm, and of course subject to change at any time. Any misinterpretation of the information is accidental or a poor attempt at humor. If Shadowlands causes any symptoms, please consult your local physician. Alright everyone, this was Juice with Method, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Talk to you all later. Enjoy your days.